Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very big announcement. Samantha and I have decided that we're going to be spending the next 2 to 3 months traversing the Baja Peninsula in Mexico in our Ram ProMaster van, and we are very, very excited. We've spent the past few weeks collecting some items, adding some things to the van that are really going to help us when we're down in Baja, so that we make sure that we don't get stuck in the sand, make sure that we have plenty of lighting, make sure that we have the right tires. So we're going to go over the 8 biggest upgrades that we've made to the van, why we think they're essential for traveling off-grid in places like Baja, desert areas, places where a 2-wheel drive van might have some issues. The links to all these products are going to be in the video description down below this video. If you guys have any questions about any of these products, click on one of those links or feel free to reach out to us. With that, let's get right into the list. Okay, so the first and probably one of the most essential upgrades that we made to the van several months ago was the solar panels on the roof. We now have 400 watts of solar, and those are going to be wired directly into our power station. With the 400 watts of solar, when it's a beautiful clear day like it is today, that will charge our power station from 0, which it never really gets down past 60. I've never really had the power station down below about 60%, but from like 60% to 100 in, maybe 2 to 3 hours. So the solar panels have been such an awesome upgrade. Highly recommend solar if you guys are going off grid for multiple days where you can't plug your van in. The solar is essential and makes such a huge difference. Okay, so the second upgrade we made to the van that we feel is crucial and has made a huge difference in the past few months, we got these back in May, are going to be these BFG KO2 all-terrain tires. Now, in recent months, they have come out with the KO3 that's supposed to be a little bit quieter because these are a little loud on the road, but the increased traction that we have with these tires is well worth it. These things have been amazing. We've had these out in the desert quite a few times this summer, and the difference in traction is night and day. So especially when you have a 2-wheel drive van like the Ram ProMaster or the 2-wheel drive Ford Transit, having extra traction is going to make a world of difference. When we're down in Baja, we're going to be doing a lot of driving on the beach. Lots of the campsites are right on the beach, so we're going to be doing a lot of sand driving. These tires are going to make a big difference, but I highly recommend these tires. Like I said, they are a little noisy on the road, but it's not a deal breaker, and for the increased traction that you get, it is well worth it. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the Sumo Springs. We did the Sumo Spring conversion, both front and rear. So in the rear, we have much larger bump stops. So the original bump stops that came on the van were about this long, and the new Sumo Springs are about this long. Okay, so now we're underneath the van, and I'm going to show you guys the Sumo Springs in the rear. As you can see, those bump stops are much, much larger, and now the axle is resting directly on the Sumo Springs, and it actually gave us about 3/4 of an inch lift in the rear and in the front, so that's an added benefit as well. And in the front, we did the Sumo Spring inserts in the coil springs. Up front, they're just little rubber inserts that go in the coil springs. That kind of stiffens up the entire chassis. It gets rid of a lot of that body roll that these vans are known for when you're going around corners. And it just makes it a much stiffer platform, but not in a bad way. It's much more comfortable on the road now, and a huge difference off-road. Okay, so in the front, which is really hard to see because the coil springs are pretty far up in, we basically just put these rubber inserts into the coil springs. You just kind of soak them in some dish soap so they're nice and slippery, and then you just kind of gently work them in all the way around until they just kind of like snap in place into the coil springs. The whole install was really easy. A friend of mine and I did this in about an hour. Maybe it's a little more than an hour. I think the only tool we used was a flathead screwdriver to just kind of loosen up the bump stops in the rear. But we just used the jack that came with the van to lift it up, unscrew the old bump stops, and screw the new ones into the exact same hole. And in the front, like I said, you just work these rubber inserts into the coils and let it down, and that's all there is to it. And I think that driving down these long dirt roads and beaches and rough roads in Baja, this is going to make a world of difference. So we've been very satisfied with the Sumo Spring conversion so far. It's one of my favorite things that I've done to the van since I got it. All right, so the next upgrade we made to the van is going to be this cargo box. This has made a huge difference in space inside the van. As many of you know that live in small spaces, that maybe live in cars or vans or RVs, having a place for all of your things is very important. This cargo box has allowed us to have a ton of extra storage. This thing is massive, and we store a ton of stuff in here, like all of our outdoor equipment. We've got chairs, we've got tables, we've got our traction boards, our leveling blocks. All of that stuff goes in here. When we got this box, there was some assembly required, but it was super easy. Samantha and I did this in like 20 minutes. But you have to drill 4 holes inside the box to attach it to the frame here. And basically you just drill the 4 holes and then screw it down, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And we actually have it mounted to this Kuat swing arm so that we can swing it out of the way so that we can access the back doors. And I'll show you guys how that works right now. This does have a load rating of 250 pounds, and this does weigh 75 pounds. So we have to make sure that we don't overload it. So you just unhook it here, and you just pull this, and then it just slides right out of the way, and then it will actually lock in place. Full access to the back. When you're ready to go, it just folds right up again. The lock on each side, this just opens up, and then it actually will stay in place like that, so that you can access all the stuff in here. The possibilities are endless with this thing. If you pack it right, you can just fit a ton of stuff in here, and we love this thing so far. One extra thing that we did add to this are the 2 reflectors, so that people can see this at night. It didn't come with any reflectors, but we bought these at Walmart. I think they were like $2 maybe. So this is a really good thing to have. If you're considering buying a box like this, you want to make sure everyone can see it so that no one runs into it at night. But we're very happy with this upgrade so far, and we highly recommend this if you guys are going to be living full-time on the road. All right, so the next thing we got is these leveling blocks. This is going to help us make sure that we're always level when we're in a camping spot. Sometimes that can be a little difficult, especially when you're backcountry camping, boondocking, that sort of thing, camping on BLM land. Sometimes you can't always find a level spot, so this is going to make a big difference. We'll be able to put these underneath the tires, make sure that we're always level. It came in this really nice bag. And then these basically are like, honestly, they're kind of like Legos. So you can make these as high as you need to get your van level. And they're going to make a great addition to the van so that we're always able to get a great night's sleep, and we're very comfortable inside the van when we're camping. Always going to be level. And they just go right back in there, and this just zips back up. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about are these traction boards. These are highly recommended if you're going to be driving on BLM land or a beach or a sandy road in your 2-wheel drive van, or even if you have an all-wheel drive van. It's easy to become stuck. These things are super heavy with all the build out and everything. So highly recommend picking a set of these traction boards up. And luckily we have not had to use these yet, but I have a feeling once we get down to Baja, we will definitely have to use these at least once, probably more than once. But basically, they're these big plastic boards that you're going to put underneath your tire if you become stuck in the sand or mud. So basically, if you find yourself stuck, you're going to take these boards, and you can also use them as a shovel as well to dig like this. If your tire is stuck in the sand, and you're just basically going to take the board, stick it underneath the tire, give it a couple of kicks so that it's really under there, and then drive out of the hole. If you are doing any type of off-highway driving in your van, this is a great thing to have. So a lot of times you're not going to be where there are other people to tow you out. You need to be able to be self-sufficient, and having a set of traction boards is really good for peace of mind. Just knowing that if you get stuck, you'll be able to get yourself out. So the next thing we're going to talk about is this Nightlight light bar and the 2 Nightlight floodlights that we got from Amazon. This whole kit was only 60 bucks. So as many of you know, these ProMasters are not known for having the best headlights. I think that on certain trims now you can get LEDs, but our van did not come with LEDs. So having this extra light at night has made a huge difference. A lot of times driving out through the desert at night, driving down Forest Service roads, things like that, having these lights has been crucial for looking out for deer, other animals, things like that. Having this extra light has been really nice. I'll show you guys how this works. So basically, Samantha and I did this install. We're going to put a link to that video up in the corner here, maybe here or here. And we did this install ourselves. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't the hardest thing I've ever done. I think that anyone that just has a few basic tools could do this themselves by watching our tutorial. I'm going to turn the lights on for you. They are extremely bright and make driving at night so much easier and so much safer. We think that having these in Baja is going to be a great upgrade. So the final upgrade we're going to talk about today is going to be our new fridge freezer that we got. This is the SetPower 55 quart fridge freezer, and we love this thing. I've been through several different freezers, refrigerators for the van in the past few years, and this is probably my favorite by far. So it has 2 separate compartments. You have a refrigerator here, and we can fit so much stuff in here. It's really crazy how much stuff will fit in here. On the other side is going to be the freezer. But the cool thing about this is that it can either be a fridge and freezer, a fridge and freezer, a freezer, or a fridge. So you can make this whatever you want depending on your needs. And some of the things that we love about it are that it does have 2 separate sides, which is really cool. It has lights inside, so that when you open it, everything's illuminated, so you can get stuff out of there at night, which is really nice. I really love that it has 2 separate controllers, which are down here. 1 controller for each side. It has a nice digital display. Super easy to read, super easy to use. So we have been very, very happy with this fridge and freezer so far. Highly recommend this for your van. Several weeks after we bought the fridge and freezer, SetPower sent us this cover in the mail for free. And this helps insulate the fridge and freezer from both hot and cold. So it makes it much more efficient and uses a lot less energy now that we have this nice cover. Very happy with this purchase. So those are the 8 upgrades that we made to the van before we head down to Baja. We're super excited about this trip, and we're super excited to bring you guys along for all the adventures. We feel like these 8 upgrades are going to make a huge difference for us, both for comfortability on the road, for safety and security and for storage. If you guys have any questions about any of these items, please let us know. We are going to leave a link in the description down below to all of these products. Samantha and I really appreciate you guys being here. It does mean a lot to us that you guys watch our videos. If you guys like this content, please remember to like, subscribe, share. It really helps our channel out a ton, and we're trying to grow our channel and make it as big as possible. So thank you guys so much for the support, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.